Covenant Theological Seminary is the denominational seminary of the Presbyterian Church. In America, Covenant enjoys a rich legacy now of almost 70 years of ministry faithfulness. Covenant began in 1956 as a mission of the Reformed Presbyterian Church Evangelical Synod, and was located right here on these grounds here in West County, St. Louis. In 1982, a significant event in the life of the PCA, the Reformed Presbyterian Church Evangelical Synod merged with the PCA and what we now refer to as the joining and receiving. And at that time, Covenant College, our sister institution, also came into the PCA. Since that time, Covenant has enjoyed a wonderful relationship with the PCA in training succeeding generations of pastors, ministry leaders, and counselors. We're grateful for the work that Covenant has been able to do. I myself was trained by Covenant Seminary in the mid-90s. MNA has been this vital ministry in the PCA that's about catalyzing church planting efforts. And that effort exists in this larger spiritual ecosystem that we might refer to it within the church of the PCA. Covenant Seminary is here to recruit and inspire future pastors, but train those who are called to go on and be church planters. And so we want to have a healthy relationship, a synergistic relationship with MNA, so that our students, when they're trained, see the road ahead, as it were, so that they can move into church planting opportunities across the PCA.
There are students that come in by all means that aren't really sure about what their future is going to be. So some might come in and think they're going to be RUF. Some might think they're just going to go into regular, ordinary pastoral ministry. But when they realize that there is this opportunity called church planting, a lot of them do get to be perked up in terms of that interest. In some ways, I would say that the Lord has already prepared them for the work of church planting. So in some ways, I feel like all I'm doing is unearthing what God has already been doing a work within their own hearts.
Didn't come here wanting to be a church planter, but very open to it. As I got exposed to learning about what church planting is and interacting with other church planters, what I learned, or what I came to the realization of, is that God could use me to plant a church. It just slowly began to unfold as I would go on church plant field trips around the country, interacting with other church planters, as I would sit in the classroom and I would learn about church planting and some of the ins and outs of it. I just think for me as a pastor as well, I mean, I didn't grow up in a Christian home. I came to Christ because someone shared the gospel with me. And so I feel like as I'm heading into church planting, this is really very much part of my own conversion. And so I just feel like church planting is a way I can just kind of keep that going and getting out there and where people are.
To support future church planters, Covenant has actually set up a church planting track scholarship. For those who are in the church planting track, we are generously looking to provide scholarship dollars for 50% in their first year, 60% in their second year, 70% in their third year, and 80% in their final year of their Master of Divinity program. Not only that, we're also partnering with the Unity Fund to see that those who are from minority populations experience the support of the denomination to plant churches that reach above and beyond the cultural landscape that we are normally in as the PCA. And so together we're trying to bring the financial resources to come around future church planters.
I'm Puerto Rican, I'm the youngest of 6 boys, and I was raised in Brooklyn, New York. I moved from Brooklyn to Lancaster County, where my family lives now. We didn't know a soul, and we noticed that in our community, there was no Reformed, Spanish-speaking, or bilingual church. And we started speaking to our pastors and realized that the Lord had brought us there for that purpose, for the purpose of planting a bilingual, Reformed PCA church. People think of Lancaster, they think of Amish country, Hershey's chocolate, all these wonderful things that are a part of our community. But they fail to realize almost 40% of the population is Spanish speaking. Missions in North America would be crucial in support, not just in financial, but in all kinds of resources in terms of data and analytics and experience to be able to help us reach the people in the community.
Covenant Theological Seminary, as a denominational seminary, it's right and appropriate for us to collaborate with Mission to North America. So as Mission to North America, for example, rolled out this 1,000 church plant vision. And when I first heard that, I was able to just pray and ask the Lord in terms of like, how can we be a part of that? And so I feel like the church planting track specifically is addressing that. Currently right now, 45 students in the church planting track. My hope and aim is that from those students, they're going to go and plant PCA churches in and throughout the country. Chris Vogel, Director of Church Planting and Revitalization, has been to a lot of our classes. He's been on our field trips. He's coming this weekend for our class. He's interacted with our students. And what that's allowed Chris to do is just to develop relationships with future church planters even early on in that pipeline.
When we at MNA say one church, one mission, it takes all of us. It's not all of us just in MNA, it's all of us in the PCA. Our partnership with Covenant Seminary is so critical. We need people who are trained to think, how do I reach my community? The seminary is a critical place to be able to train, equip, and send out kingdom workers for our churches.
So what we know from the literature is that church planting is one of the most effective evangelistic strategies. So we see more people proportionally come to Christ in church planting context than we do any other church setting. Church planting is also a vital part of bringing the gospel to the wider culture, not just in terms of reaching new Christians, but also pastoring and sustaining the existing church today. And church planting historically is just how we embody and fulfill Christ's mandate to take the gospel to all the nations and make disciples of them.